Here's what happened at the 7th round of the FIM MX1 MX2 Motocross World Championship at La Baneza in Spain. The first race, Ken Roczen took the whole shot and was never headed and went on to a start-to-finish victory. In the early stages, Nicolas Aubin, Jeffrey Hurlings and Tommy Searle were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, but Tommy Searle eventually found a way first past Jeffrey Hurlings to go 3rd and then past the Frenchman, Nicolas Aubin, to go 2nd. He would go on to finish 2nd in the first race behind Ken Roczen. Hurlings eventually found a way past the Frenchman on the HDI KTM, Nicolas Aubin, to move himself into 3rd to keep hold of his championship lead that he picked up 1 week ago in Portugal. Zach Osborne was 5th for a couple of 3 laps in the beginning of the race, but he fell not once but twice and would eventually not finish the race. Gauthier Paulin had a bad start and came from 11th on the first lap to finish in 4th ahead of Nicolas Aubin, who eventually dropped to 5th. Arnold Tonus was 6th, but it was a win for Roczen. In the first of the MX1 races, it was Tony Cairoli from the centre of the start gate who stormed into the lead on the Red Bull Teca factory KTM. He led for about 15 laps as well. Max Nagel, his teammate, went with him in the early stages, but Clement Desal, well, he started in around about 7th place and found a way past Rui Gonçalves and Evgeny Bobryshev before making a mistake that left him with a load of track fencing around the rear wheel. Tony Cairoli wasn't really escaping at the front as Stephen Frossard then found a way into 2nd, pushing the KTM of Max Nagel down to 3rd. Clement Desal, though, once he'd found a way past the number 19 of David Philipparts, he looked like he was going to go on and challenge for the lead, but that mistake that saw him get that rear wheel full of track tape cost him dearly, and he eventually would finish in 5th place. Cairoli made a mistake and allowed Frossard through for the lead, and then eventually David Philipparts also challenged as well for the top spot. It was a win for Frossard though. MX2 race 2, Tommy Searle looked to have had the whole shot, but around the outside it was Ken Roczen on the KTM, and the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider Tommy Searle would eventually have to settle for 2nd position in the race. Jeffrey Hurlings again didn't make a great start, started 5th, found a way past Arnold Tonus on the Yamaha to go 4th. Ken Roczen, though, was out on his own up front. Tommy Searle was 2nd, Paulin was 3rd, Hurlings was 4th, and Arnold Tonus was 5th. The Spaniard, Jose Butron, found himself going out with engine problems in the middle of the race and would lose that 11th position. But Tommy Searle, though, was left scratching his head and wondering what he could do over the next 2 weeks before they go to Sweden, and to see how he could deal with Ken Roczen, who went on to take 2 wins here, and he won the Spanish Grand Prix. But Gauthier Paulin, he got on the podium. He eventually finished in 3rd in the race, but it was all about Roczen this weekend as he retook the championship lead. In the final race of the day, MX1 race 2, once again Tony Cairoli almost spitting image of what happened in Moto number 1 as he stormed to the lead, and this time was never headed. Clement Desal started 8th and then fell while trying to come through. That dropped him to 14th on the Rockstar Suzuki, but he would remount and create one of the most exciting fightbacks in MX1 this year. Tanel Liot was 2nd from the first turn, and he found himself coming under intense pressure from everybody else around him, including David Philipparts, Jonathan Barragan, Max Nagel, and for a while Steve Ramon. The 2 Hondas of Bobryshev and Rui Gonçalves found their way past Max Nagel for a short while, and then Clement Desal found himself battling for 4th position. Xavier Bourg went out at the same corner where Desal crashed, and Desal, once he'd found a way past his teammate Steve Ramon for 6th position, he closed in on Jonathan Barragan. He went by the Spaniard, he moved into 4th place, and if he could find a way past David Philipparts, he would keep hold of his championship lead with the next round in Sweden in 2 weeks' time. That's exactly what he did.